episode 93 of the We'll Just Agree
to Disagree podcast. Guys, backstory, it took us 93 minutes to get this episode going.
Okay, like this technology stuff now. Come on now. It gets on my nerves.
It literally took us 93 minutes.
I have a love-hate relationship with technology. Like, I love technology. I love technology. You can try on shoes now without going to a store and trying on shoes. That's how cool technology has become. However, on days like this, when we can't get this, anyway, it's a love-hate relationship. But I do love technology. Yeah. So Ryan, we're on episode 93. What are we going to talk about today?
We got to talk about a few things. We were texting earlier this week while watching the Grammys. We got to discuss that. Also, I want to bring this topic to you that we have discussed in the past about kind of, is it okay or separating from people, whether it's friendships, whatever it may be, right? We're going to get into that as well. But let's start off with the Grammys really quick. What is your overall thoughts? What do you rate it out of a 10? What are you feeling?
I'm going to give it a 9 out of a 10.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. I loved this year's Grammys because this year seemed to really showcase our culture. I mean, from the hip hop tribute to the 8-minute long God Did piece with Khaled and all those other extraordinary rappers, to, you know, someone like a Viola Davis who's been around forever, winning a Grammy, making history, becoming an EGOT, to the great Queen Bee, also making history by being the most most winning Grammy award winning artist in history. There was just like a lot of historical moments on different levels, not to mention the fact that some Chicagoans walked away with Grammys. It's like,
shout out Jay Ivy. To Lizzo bringing a choir on the Grammy stage and showing that part of the culture.
Yes.
On that tip, I will agree. On that tip, for example, we talked before, and one of the things that I said I kind of don't like about the Grammys is you forget that it's not just our culture. So you got to go through the time period of like, okay, bathroom break. Okay, I don't really like this, but I understand it's all music genres.
Yeah.
This one did feel like it was for the culture. I love that it was in Black History Month and a Black woman made history. Talked about Beyonce. I love that in Black History Month we had Viola Davis. I agree on all that. A 9 out of 10 is very strong. I gave it a good 6.5, 7. And I think that's still good.
Why so low? Like, what didn't you like about the Grammys?
I think it lacked, I don't know about you, but I kind of felt like, or maybe just what we saw on camera, it lacked the attendance of a lot of celebrities or artists. I feel like it was just a core group that we saw the whole time, as far as J-Lo, Beyonce, Adele. Like, it was, were there other artists that were there, you know, besides the one who won, of course?
Yeah.
And there were, because I did hit or miss. Everybody was there. I felt like some parts were very rushed.
Like what?
The tribute part to those who are no longer with us. I thought that was kind of very rushed.
Oh, like the in memoriam. Okay. Really?
I thought, now I'm gonna keep it a buck on this podcast. This is what we are here to do. Love it or hate it, we all have an opinion. I thought the intro from Bad Bunny was okay. I was not.
I'll agree on that.
I was not blown away. I liked your idea better. That it could have been dope. Beyonce kicked it off, had the whole place doing the Cuff It challenge. Yeah. I like that idea better. But overall, as a show, I think Trevor Noah did well at keeping it moving. I think it was very well technical. Like the way it was produced, I thought they did an excellent job. A good 6.5, 7 out of 10. Let me say the tribute to 50 years of hip hop was amazing. Like, I hate, and I think LL Cool J put the disclaimer out there because, you know, our people were going to be mad. There unfortunately were a lot of artists they did not and could not add because of timing. Exactly. But I thought the way they did it was amazing. I don't know if you saw BET made a tweet from the official BET account that said, if you guys like that tribute, wait until you see what we're doing for the BET Awards. So a lot of people are like, oh, shoot, because they can do it the whole show if they wanted to.
Pretty much. And they actually probably should this year. That would be cool if it was like a 50-year tribute to hip hop instead of
award
What?
for each performer. You just keep going down.
Oh
I
my
give it a good
gosh.
6.5, 7 out of 10. But there were a lot of parts that I was either like, okay, now who is this? Or okay, I'm gonna go get that laundry from downstairs.
Right, but that goes back to, thinking your culture only, or perhaps just not being privy to who certain artists are. Because I heard a discussion, people not knowing who Robert Glasper is, and I was just like,
to be
"Are you
honest,
serious?" A lot of it has to do with your knowledge, not you, Ryan, but
you can say me because I didn't know Robert until Chris Brown.
Grammy award-winning artist, very highly acclaimed, an amazing person, low-key for all of his accolades and accomplishments, just a beautiful soul and very, very talented. But that's a whole nother topic. But I think that has a lot to do with it because I told you, like my mom had us in performing arts schools and going here and here and here, and we grew up watching award shows. Like it was a family event. We watched it, and then now I watch with a different eye. I only just watch the aesthetic of the outfits and the red carpet, but I'm watching the production. I'm watching the timing of the artists and what they're doing. And I saw a lot of mistakes, miscues, and I'm watching this whole thing like differently than the average person.
And
so that's why I gave it a 9 out of 10.
And I think that's because of the industry we're in. Being a producer of our own shows, we know certain cues that are being given. I can tell when they're telling him to stretch. You can tell when it's to rap it. You can tell from watching when the teleprompter has not caught up. You can see all these things. I saw mistakes, not as many as I feel like I do on a lot of award shows. That's why I give them a kudos for that. You're gonna have mistakes. We have mistakes, and we've been doing radio for how long? Really quick, but you brought up Robert. Did you know the lady who won? I think it was for like best song of the year, and everybody was also tweeting like, "Okay, now who is this?"
Oh, how do you pronounce her name? Is it Amara Joy or something like that? I had heard of her and I had seen her recently, like either on the J Hud show or Sherry show perform.
Somewhere.
She's amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay, hey, good. I give it a good 6.5, 7 out of 10. Really a 7, but that's good for me.
Okay, good.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It has to. It dang near needed to be an Oscar slap for 9 out of 10.
But you know what? There's somebody sitting now saying that, they didn't understand the tribute to hip hop or why, you know what I mean? Again,
it's all subjective.
It depends on that person's musicality, their knowledge of music, their knowledge of different artists, whatever. Because I was sitting there stuck to the television. Like I wanted to know. And I'm kind of proud of myself in a sense because I knew who was going to win the category. I knew Harry Styles was going to win over Beyonce. I just knew that. And I told
you knew you knew, but do you think he should have?
I do.
Wow.
Only because I'm a fan of Beyonce. Let's be 100% real. I'm a fan of Beyonce, but I feel that her album catered to a certain type of listening audience. This particular album was not for everybody. That's my opinion.
In my opinion, this is an album that I have seen people of all walks, people of all colors, people of all genders be like, hey, music is music. This is a good album. I know guys that are like, yo, is it wrong that I really be bumping the Renaissance album? And I'm like, no, because it's a good, feel-good album. I think it's what the world needed with everything that was going on, all the bad energy. It brought that feel-good music back. Name 3 songs off that Harry Styles album.
I can't name the titles, but I could definitely sing along when they come on the radio.
I have it in my iTunes. And I'm not against Harry Styles either, but I feel like this category was wrong. I'm not shocked that it's been getting dragged on social media. I even saw the clip today that the reporter asked him as he was taking the photos of his Grammys, did you expect to win or did you think Beyonce should have won too? Now, I thought that was inappropriate to ask him right then and there. But I think a lot of people were like, even if it wasn't Beyonce, y'all would have said Lizzo. I was not thinking Harry Styles was walking away with that. But tomato, tomato.
Again, Harry Styles, to some people, is the Beyonce to some people. You know what I mean? It's all objective. It's all what you think, I get it. Beyonce is the biggest, most recognized performer on planet Earth now.
We don't have to say Beyonce, though. I even said Lizzo, in my opinion, could have beat Harry Styles. Not even just because I know people think just because it's Beyonce, she should have won. No, even I think Lizzo's album could have been better or could have won, and I would have been more okay with that than Harry Styles. Anybody that wears that outfit on the red carpet, I don't think deserves to win Album of the Year.
Ah, that jumpsuit, that sequin jumpsuit with the different black colors was fire. I loved it. You do know he's from the UK, right? I mean, fashion is
yes, and I
different.
know fashion's yeah.
Anyway, as you were,
As it
as
was.
you
You don't even know this.
no, I'm saying like
No.
as it were. I'm using his song to be like, as it were, let's change the subject.
The song is As It Was.
I understand that, Ryan, but the phrase is, well, as it were.
What's the next topic? Topic is about to be ending friendships.
That's one of my favorite Harry Styles songs, by the way. And what else? Oh, we were going to talk about the situation with Offset and Quavo.
Oh.
Apparently, or allegedly, there was a scuffle backstage, and there is audio of Cardi B saying, you know, you're both at fault or you're both wrong or something to that nature. And then when she was asked about it, she made a comment about her outfit or something to totally deflect. Yeah. So perfect. But it just hurts my heart that, you know, we understand that there wasn't much communication prior to Takeoff's death. I was hoping that as a result of his death, there would be some sort of forgiveness or some sort of getting back together or something, because quite obviously life is too short. We never know what can happen at any time to any one of us. And I just really hate to see that beef in between family, if you will. And gosh, you know, it's just sad. They're kind of denying it. Offset's kind of denying that there was a scuffle, but there totally had to have been some sort of argument or disagreement at some point.
Yeah, I think Offset came out and was trying to put down the rumor that they physically got in a fight. I don't think it got, in my opinion, we don't know. It doesn't seem like it may have gotten physical, but clearly there was some type of back and forth going to where Cardi had to get that loud. What are the odds that the cameras were back there and were able to grab that? So clearly, you know, something did go down to the point that she had to yell. It's tough because at the end of the day, I just think there's a lot of emotion on everybody's side, which is rightfully so. You know, they lost their family member and you didn't think that it was going to happen. And because you had emotion before Takeoff passing, it probably is escalating on another level now. So it's unfortunate to see it play out. I hate that it happened, but I can't judge them for it. I think a lot of families can relate. When it comes to funerals, you may have situations with family members where in ideal world, they would come together and, you know, put the beef aside. But it's high emotions. And I think, like Cardi said, you guys are both wrong, but also in this whole situation, they all probably are feeling how they feel, rightfully so. I just pray for that family to can do it in private.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. I get it. And none of us really knows the true circumstance as to why they're not talking in the first place and what went down and this and that. But I mean, gosh, for the sake of public, when you're at the Grammys, you know, platform, you know, cameras are everywhere and recording devices are everywhere. I just hate that something happened there. But who knows, you know, time heals all wounds and maybe they can get it together later in life. And who knows, maybe the two of them can continue the legacy of the Migos. After all, they are very, very influential in the hip hop culture. And I just really hate to see something like that happen where it's just no more. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And I think the public and the fans want it so bad. We wanted Offset to be on the tribute so bad to finally see the two of them coming back together. And it's, of course, a want for us, but it's going to have to happen on, number one, God's time, and then their time where they feel like, okay, we can come back and whatever they have going on, it's going to be between them and their family. And on their time, that's when it's going to come. But I think as fans, we wish, you know, it wasn't like this.
I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, Offset's about to walk out. I kept saying that he's about to walk out in 2 seconds, and he never walked up.
And, you know, too, though, they never, in their defense, they've never promoted it that he was going to be a part of it. So a part of me did think, nah, I think they wouldn't have made it as a surprise because they wouldn't want to take away from the moment of honoring those who are not here no more. So I felt like if he truly was going to be on it, I did think like they probably would have said Offset and Takeoff. And maybe There's still the BET Awards. We never know what could happen. I just think that's the on them and their family, and I hope they can do that in private.
Yeah, agreed. And shout out to Maverick City. First time in like 20 years that a gospel group performed at the Grammys. Another historic moment. Like that's such a big deal.
And
yeah.
shout out to them and Kirk. They took home Grammys too. So
Yep, exactly. So before we wrap this up, did you get your Beyonce ticket yet?
no. Okay.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Me personally would love to go. Me personally, who's also hard on myself this year for budgeting, I'm very strict. I'm personally not spending money on not even Beyonce, other things that I normally would because of the year that I'm in. But no shade, nothing bad. For me personally, financially, that ain't where I need to be right now. But if it was another year, yeah, I would have been in the building.
Oh, okay.
Are
Just
you
asking.
going?
Since you promoted that album so graciously. I'm trying to get tickets. When you're waitlisted, what do you do?
It's nothing you can't do. Did you go see Harry Styles?
I did not because I was out of town. I was out of town.
He was he was here for a whole month.
Yeah, but no, I was out of town and it was just too much. Remember all that situation on the news with the tickets and people standing outside and all? He even canceled one. I don't know if he had COVID or what, but he canceled a couple of those shows here at the UC. But yeah, no, I'm a fan. I like the dude's style. I like he's kind of soulful to me in a cool way. And I'm with that. But anyway, and he wears the best nail color polishes.
All right, guys, next week we will get in. I know we went a little longer with Grammys. Next week we'll talk about breaking apart or separating from people that you've been friends with for a long time. You may see it happen live here on this podcast. So next week, we will get on that.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys subscribe.
If something else doesn't happen or trend before that, we'll see.
We'll talk about it eventually because that's always going to happen.
Yeah, we're only 7 episodes away from 100.
Yeah, wow.
Are we gonna have a party?
Yo, what are we doing for the 100th?
I don't know. I think I may have an idea, and we'll see. I'll tell you after we get off of this.
After we get off. All right, guys. Make sure you subscribe and follow at We'll Just Agree to Disagree. You can hit me up on all social at Ryan Media Lee.
Okay, and you can hit me up at Beyonce Fox on everywhere.
Come tell me that idea, B.
Yeah, I will.
All
See y'all.